2012, Houston Heat is formed with the roster that they have. They win 3 tournaments. They win the world title. And then Impact not really playing in the NXL or in the PSP at the time, but they do come back in, and Bart starts to build a squad. Takes him a few years, but over the last 3, no one will ever argue the fact that they are now the most dominant team in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Houston Heat has that superstar lineup. If you have Konstantin Fedorov, Mishka, and Sergey on the same team, combined with guys like Ryan Moorhead and Chad George, and now picking up some of these young, hungry guys. They also have veterans like Sam Monville, who's pulled out 2 2-on-4s in the past 2 events, and then Nico Hyde's been doing some awesome attacking on that D side of the field. So Houston Heat is really stacked up again, and I'm looking forward to. They are hungry. You talk to these guys, and they're tired of everyone talking about how amazing Edmonton Impact is and how they're the most are they the most dominant team ever? And
yes.
But Impact is just. We have to talk about how well they're doing because they're doing so well. They're winning tournament after tournament, series titles, the depth of their roster. It's just ridiculous how much they've taken over that top spot, and that's got to put a fire under Houston Heat. That used to be their claim to fame. They were the best team in paintball. They were the superstar squad. Everyone was looking at Heat. They're the team to beat. And now Edmonton Impact stole that from them. So that's what's at stake right here. Houston Heat versus Edmonton Impact. As far as pro paintball concerned, yeah, this is a huge rivalry.
I would say it's the rivalry. And I mean, coming off of playing for Houston Heat for 3 seasons, yeah, man. And, you know, the big thing was, too, early rivalry was the Russians. And that's one thing that people look at is these are the top 2 American teams. But Edmonton Impact's from Canada, and Houston Heat has 3 Russians on it. So that's what I was going to ask you about the national anthem. I was like, do you think they played the U.S. national anthem, the Canadian national anthem, and the Russian national anthem?
I had my headphones on, and it's all the way on the other side. I really couldn't hear. I was trying to hear, but yeah, not sure. But that's how international paintball is. And these teams, it's okay. Edmonton Impact has some Americans on it, but there's Canadians on that team too. And well, 3 Russian nationals play on Houston Heat.
I think that's pretty amazing. As we were about to start this first point, Houston Heat on your screen for the breakout. Chad George, Fedorov, Sam Monville.
And it looks like a disastrous start to this for Edmonton Impact. They lose Nick Laval and Keith Brown off the break, so this is a good break for Houston Heat. They have 2 bodies, though, stuck in that back center there on your screen, so they're going to need to try to get out. Here goes Rainey Stanzik, who's been playing pretty good for him this weekend, man. He's the utility guy. Rainey Stanzik gets anywhere he wants to go, and he just runs out into the guns, and Heat not able to get any shots on him.
Yeah, well, Chad George off that fill by Rainey gets into the 50 snake. Dalton Vanderbilt trying to make a move on the Drew side. He might have got clipped. Sam Monville makes it to the snake corner. Haven't seen Dalton walk off. He is clean. So good fills by Impact to try and stop the bleeding. Only 3 bodies left alive for them, though. Houston Heat making some big secondary moves. Fedorov heading up the center of the field to the tower.
Houston Heat they have 5 guys alive, and they let Dalton fill into the 50 on the D side, and then now they're going to get a penalty. This is
and they lose 3.
Yeah, but they're able to get a shot, though, on Dalton. So there's just 2 players left alive, but the problem is I think there's only 2 players left alive on
Dalton's
Heat.
Still alive. Someone's just,
Dalton's
JC.
walking off. JC hopscotched Dalton after he died, and that is going to do it. So a terrible high body situation, squandering it here.
It's a 1-1.
Oh, did they shoot JC?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No,
Chad George just died trying to make a move up. Just Rainey Stanzak, I think, left alive is JC. Oh, no, he is alive. I thought the way he was walking off with his barrel.
It did look like he was walking off.
Punked us, man.
But the problem is that, Houston Heat, this is why sticking 2 guys in that back center, you got to get out of there. You can't shoot bodies, thus accomplishing the goal of going with a heavy gun breakout and then keep those bodies back there. And for some reason, they drop the lane on the D side of the field. Now, it's tough because if you don't have upfield penetration, if you're not up wide, then it's going to be easy for that. If you're not out wide or up the field, if you're not out wide on the D side, so you have a guy in the back bunker, or you're up the field, then you're not going to be able to stop Dalton while he gets into that 50. So
and not only did they drop the lane on Dalton, but they let Rainey Stanzak, after shooting both Nick Laval and Keith Brown on the snake side, they let Rainey Stanzak go from the back center to the snake corner.
Well, and here's the thing.
Everyone
keeps asking, okay, what do teams need to do to beat Edmonton Impact? When you get a team on the ropes and a point, you need to hammer that guy in the face and put him on the mat. You can't just give them enough time. You can't give Dalton Vanderbilt and Justin Cornell enough time to reposition, because Impact, more often than not, when they go down bodies, they tighten it up. They don't get up, they don't get down, they get up. And we don't see that as consistently out of the other top teams. Heat, Dynasty, X Factor. When they look more puzzled in those situations than Edmonton Impact does. And if Heat does, obviously we got a lot of time left. There's 13:23 to go, and I'm being a little hard on Heat right now.
No, absolutely not.
But that's the situation. That's the reality. If you want to beat Edmonton Impact, you want to beat the best team in the world, you cannot lose high body situations.
No, and that's the one thing that everyone talks about when it comes to why is Edmonton Impact so good. They don't make mistakes.
Professionalism, consistency, and when we say consistency, that's what I just said. They, more often than not, you do not see Edmonton Impact lose high body situations. They pull out low body situations. They obviously have everything taken care of off the field. You don't see them ever look puzzled. Even when the backs are to the wall, they're still processing the information and trying to figure out what they need to do, and they do it better than anybody else, and that's blatantly apparent by the results.
Say that again.
Well, we'll see how the game goes. Again, a lot of time left. Houston Heat now got to just stay focused. Let's just forget about that one. Okay, yeah, we blew that one, and we splattered them a point, but let's just shake it off and head back out here and get this next one.
Absolutely right. On this breakout, all 5 bodies alive for both squads. You can see Houston Heat there on your screen. I talk to you soon as Mishka gets dropped out of the bunker of death, the back center.
Did they double it up again?
They doubled it up and they lost the body. Although they did break out the last point. Chad George now getting shot in the dome piece, so now 2 bodies down for Houston Heat.
Well, see, that's a mistake too. Chad goes there. That lane was being shot the whole time, and then he just crawls around right into that lane and gets domed up.
Yeah, and Chad Boucher going to get shot out of the corner because Dalton Vanderbilt now in the 50 bricks. Only 2 bodies left alive for Houston Heat, Dorito Corner and Dorito 1. And Edmonton Impact, in a situation like this is where they just sit tight and don't do anything. The clock is now their ally. They're up by 1 because Houston Heat blew the first point. So it looks like that's Nico Hyde and Fedorov. Fedorov going to try and make something happen here, but not really going to be in a good position to do anything, as this whole snake side is owned by Rainey Stanzak and Keith Brown, who can just sit here. Fedorov going to die. This needs to be a concession right now by Heat. There it is.
Dominant point for Impact. Bunch of mistakes for Houston Heat. We had watched multiple deaths for Houston Heat. Chad George comes right around into a stream, trying to get into Snake 2.
Yeah, and that was Sam Monville, excuse me, over there on the Dorito side. So Nick Laval and company looking, well, like the best damn team in the world.
And I think it was gut check time for Impact. They knew that they were played a little soft in the prelims, and today they looked a lot better. Yes, the Tauntauns game was really close. That was a 5-4 match, and Tauntauns could have won that one, as they let Edmonton Impact. They went up 4-1 on Impact, and then just hit the brakes, and it was really difficult.
Yeah.
And going back to in that prelims, and we talked about this during the prelims. I also talked about this to some of the guys off camera, but that man on your screen right there, Rainey Stanza, getting talked to by Dave Baines. Emotional leader on that team. He comes in and he was yelling at his guys, this is unacceptable. We're better than this. And since then, and this is when we got to start talking MVP right now. We'll see how things continue to play out. But Rainey's in the conversation. I mean, Rainey's been the utility guy all over the place, saving some points for him. I don't want to give it to him yet, but
the first point, that was all Rainey. Making out to that corner, spreading the field. Absolutely. No questions asked. He's got my vote.
So we'll see. Still a lot more game to go here. Your vote definitely counts, Nick. So still a lot of game time. 12 minutes and 5 seconds to go.
I don't vote for anything back home, but when it comes to this, I vote. So I'm like.
So also remember to watch more on GoSports.com. We are trying as hard as we can to take paintball to another level here with Go Sports and the NXL here in Europe and in the States. So if you want to see the entire 2018 season in Europe and in the United States, and also the Cagezilla MMA, please help us support the sport. Everyone's talking about growing paintball. This is how we grow paintball. You put out an amazing product that we can be proud of, and we need your support to do that. So please sign up, go to GoSports.com. 12 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Is Edmonton Impact going to continue to reign supreme here, or will Houston Heat answer the challenge?
Well, Keith Brown making it out to the snake corner on the break is definitely going to help Impact's case, as Heat cannot get a shot on him. Both teams still doubled up in the back center. You can see Houston Heat there on your screen. You have Chad George in the corner, Chad Boucher and Fedorov in the back center. Looks like Mishka, that's Sergey, I think, in the Dorito 1. And I'm not sure for Heat who's up in that mini wall. Edmonton Impact on your screen. Keith Brown in the snake corner. Stanzak and Laval in the back center. Dalton Vanderbilt making a big move down the Dorito tape.
Well, Dalton's another guy. If Dalton has a pretty good game, we might need to start talking about him. As far as MVP, we'll see. I mean, it's up to, it's on this game right here.
Yeah.
To see who's going to get that title.
Oh, it was JC making a move. And it was Nico Hyde who went up and over, excuse me, into that mini wall bunker. Fedorov getting checked out by 2 refs. He looks to be good. One body advantage now for Edmonton Impact. He's got to figure out what they need to do. Chad Boucher needs to get out of that back center and start helping out Chad George over here on the snake side, trying to press away. If he could get himself up the middle and start attacking to draw some guns, allow Mishka and Fedorov to attack on the Dorito side or Chad George to attack on the snake, that's what Heat needs, because right now, 2-point lead, clock ticking down. Edmonton Impact not going to really go anywhere. Dalton's in a great spot to attack and draw some guns. He's got JC over there with him right now. I'd expect Keith Brown, Rainey, and Nick Laval just to hold strong across that back line. There's 3 of the 4 Heat players left alive on your screen. Mishka, Fedorov, and Chad Boucher. I did hear Rainey sell kill 101. I didn't see anyone walk off for Impact,
yeah,
so I'm not sure. Is Dalton? I don't know if Dalton is still alive over there. Or JC.
Dalton is still alive. Just saw him jump up over the top trying to get a jump shot over the brick.
Okay, so maybe Justin Cornell got shot out of the mini wall? Or Rainey just has the wrong call. Maybe he can't see one of his players. There you see Rainey Stanzak in the can. The heart of that team this whole weekend, making sure the guys are fired up, can hear his voice louder and over everyone else's in the pit.
Chad Boucher pushes across from the back center to the can.
Yeah, it's a good fill to try and slow the roll now. Fedorov going to launch into the 50 brick. Looks like he gets a kill on Dalton and comes off as well. Mishka doing a good job of following right up. So it is now a 4-on-3. Still a 1-body advantage for Edmonton Impact. 2-point lead as well. So Yayak just called kill 2. And I don't know, did Justin Cornell get taken out? He might have. We just didn't see him walk off. I'm trying to see if he's in this pit.
I didn't see him walk off either. I think
no, he's still
in the mini
alive.
wall.
Yeah,
I was
still
going to say, I think they got the codes are wrong out there for these teams. So there's 4 players left alive for Impact, and Houston Heat has 3 bodies alive. And it looks like just make a move there into the brick.
No, great fill by Chad George into the snake, and he makes it clean.
But then it looks like Rainey is going to try to make that same fill, and he gets taken out. So that's
nice shot by Chad Boucher, who fills to the back center.
Yeah, so Chad had come back actually from the can to the back center to get a better angle and gets that kill. But here comes Justin Cornell. Unfortunately for Justin, he didn't know what was going on over here on the snake side. He did get a kill on Mishka, and it looks like Chad Boucher on the fill out wide is going to get shot by Nick Laval. And then here comes Chad George. Chad George is going to own Keith Brown, and Chad George might save this point for Houston Heat. Is it a 1-on-1 right now?
Could be a
2-1.
Nah, Nick Laval for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a 1-on-1. Nick Laval and Chad George. This is the point, man. Chad George needs to win this 1-on-1 to keep Heat in the match and make it a 1-point game. If Nick Laval wins this 1-on-1, then he's going to go up 3-0.
Yeah, and Nick Laval, a multiple 1-on-1 champion over here in Europe.
Yeah, multiple-time MVP award winner as well, too.
So Chad George is an interesting spot here because the way he's positioned with Nick Laval, he can step out to his left as he squeegees his barrel and can use these bunkers to block out Nick. Now both players reposition, Nick Laval in the Dorito 1 and Chad George in the snake insert.
Also Chad, here comes Nick Laval smart. He comes back towards
Chad
the buzzer.
Missed that move.
Well, I was thinking that Chad was obviously closer to much closer to their buzzer, to Impact's buzzer, but it looks like he just head checked Chad, just found him right now. So Chad is now going to cut to the inside and see if he can pull it off. And he does. Chad George saves this point for Houston Heat. That might be the momentum shifter. We will see, but we got to still have ourselves a game here. 7 minutes and 8 seconds remain. What a beautiful execution there in that one-on-one situation for Chad George, playing a one-on-one champion in Nick Laval. And the point is good. Chad George owns Nick Laval there on that move. And Houston Heat is on the board. 2-1 is the score.
Man. So both players make moves, lose each other. Chad George gets the corner, bunkers out Keith Brown. Nick Laval moves from the Dorito 2 to the Dorito 1. Chad George at the same time fills to the snake insert. Nick Laval makes a great move to his Dorito Aztec. But then as he moves to his back center, Chad George picks him up and then makes the move to the inside of the field to bunker him out, and then hits the buzzer to put Houston Heat on the board. Again, Impact still with the lead, and the score being 2-1, 7 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Long points here.
We're probably going to continue to see that, unless a lot of guys die off the
well,
break.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. It really depends now on what Coach Ryan Smith wants to do with his lineup, because the one thing that Impact's been doing better than Heat is getting those kills on the break and repositioning to drag time out. So the one thing that Heat can't afford to do is really lose those bodies early on and be forced to concede the point to give Impact another 2-point lead.
Yeah, well, that's the battle that's going to go down right now. This next point for Houston Heat just as important as the last one, because Edmonton Impact, the best in the business at just going up 1 or 2 points and then not allowing you to play paintball. They carry extra pods, they shoot their guns, and there's no one better than them at doing that.
And Chad George, Dallas last year, the hero for Houston Heat, winning the one-on-one right before the end of the game against Keith Brown to give Houston Heat a victory. And that was the only tournament that Houston Heat, that's the last tournament Houston Heat's won.
Yeah.
So, man. And I think that might be the last time Impact is lost in the finals.
A year ago, yeah.
Holy smokes. Oy. Houston Heat right there on your screen. Chad George, Chad Boucher, Sergei Fedorov, and Mishka.
On the breakout now. See what type of break Impact gets. They double up the back center. They risk Keith Brown to the insert on the snake side. He makes it. We're looking at Houston Heat on your screen. Chad George mirrors up the move. Oh, and he ends up getting taken out. So that's a good kill here for Edmonton Impact on Chad George. Chad Boucher fills out behind him, but immediately on their heels, Houston Heat it down a point. There goes Keith Brown into the snake.
Yeah, and Impact really upset right now because the ref follows Keith Brown into the snake, and that gives his position away as no one from Heat was looking at him when he filled in. We've been seeing that all weekend. One body advantage right now for Edmonton Impact. Dalton Vanderbilt getting into this 50 brick, going to make it really hard for Chad Boucher. He might get clipped in the pack. He's got to play tight. I don't know if anyone on Heat knows that he made it there. Dalton's screaming that he shoots in the pack, and he does. So now 2 bodies down for Heat, and this is that scenario right now. If you're Houston Heat, they lose Fedorov. Ryan Smith going to have to concede this point.
Yeah, you got to blow the buzzer right now. It's 5-on-2.
5-on-1.
You have 6 minutes
Come on,
left.
what are we doing here?
And he's going to, yeah, he's right there. He's right by the concession.
I'm just getting on him because he's my friend.
So Impact, they shoot Chad George off the break, and then they continuing to press forward on that Dorito side of the field. Dalton now starting
unstoppable.
He's starting to get in the MVP conversation, because if he continues to make it into that 50 brick and get those kills to blow up in these points, then we're going to be forced to award him with the MVP award. I mean,
you can't force us to do anything.
Well, that's been the difference, though. Impact has been, it's been obviously close here, but Impact just with that attack, and Houston Heat just doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, you know what? The thing that's interested me in watching this is the use of Fedorov by Ryan Smith. We see him in the back center, but consistently this game, he's been shooting from the back and going out wide to the D corner, or just taking the Dorito corner. The one thing I'm looking forward to, I want to see him, the way I want to see him be used is as an attacker, either on the snake side or up the middle or on the Doritos. I think that's what Houston Heat needs to do right now if they want to get back in this game. Again, right there on your screen. Join the conversation with us on Facebook and Instagram at Go Sports Live, or just Go Sports for Facebook. Again, this match brought to you by GI Sports and the Stealth marker.
Yeah, that is interesting with Fedorov. I mean, it's just tough when you're dealing with a legend like Konstantin Fedorov, because to me, if I was Ryan Smith, and I know Fedorov probably doesn't want to play this position because he likes to kind of let the point develop and then try to make a move off of that, but I want to see Fedorov go back to playing the 1 every now and then.
That's what I'm saying. 1 either up the middle or on the Doritos. When he's done that and he's made the move from the snake can up inside, up the middle, man, you want to talk about run-through specialists and run and gun, running and shooting capabilities?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But from a strategic standpoint, take arguably on any given day, just like a Greenspan or an Archie or a Nick Laval, and I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. Put him into the deep end. Put him as that 1. Make him the tip of the spear.
Yeah, well, now Chad Boucher sitting down and Moorhead going in. Moorhead going to be the spear right there as he runs and dives up into the Dorito 2. Chad George now getting a spin over on that Dorito side as Moorhead gets shot. George going up and into the mini wall bunker. I like that play call. Or no, excuse me, I'm completely off. Was that Sergey? That might have been Sergey making that move as Chad George is over here in the snake corner. Fedorov now creeping up on the snake side. One body down for Houston Heat. Mishka making his way into the Dorito 2. Oh, and Sergey Shlichtikov getting shot, so now 2 bodies down for Houston Heat. Things not looking good as we hit the 5-minute mark here. Score 3-1. Fedorov getting into the snake.
Well, so now Fedorov is going to be the tip of the spear. Unfortunately, though, they've lost a bunch of bodies.
And he gets a kill on Dalton Vanderbilt across field. That might be a penalty. The ref signaling him out. Took a little while. Nope.
Dalton still, though, was able to get to that 50 on that D side of the field. That's every single point he's been over there. Now looks like Cornell's going to have to reposition as Justin able to slide into D3. But here comes the move. And it looks like JC's going to run to his death.
Nice job. Mishka stays alive, so now it's a 3-on-3.
This is the point that Heat's need. If Heat loses this point, this game is over. Heat needs to win this point right here. It's even on the count. They have position. Fedorov in the snake. Mishka at the 50 brick.
Yeah, look for Fedorov to make an inside move now up the middle. Mishka getting shot. So it looks like it's a 2-on-2. Is Rainey going to fill out wide to the Dorito side? That's going to force Fedorov to come back. Refs. Oh, and Rainey gets shot. I don't know who put that ball on him, but that was an amazing shot. Now Nick Laval in a 2-on-1. He's going to retreat. Unless I'm missing an impact player. Is there an impact player somewhere else?
No, it is just Rainey in that. Yeah, it's like 2-on-2. Where's this other body for impact?
Oh,
in the
Keith
snake.
Brown's been in the snake 50 this whole time. Wow, impressive move.
Yeah, we're blocked
by
out
Fedorov to back up in that situation.
Yeah, so Keith Brown in here. 2-on-2 situation. You saw Fedorov retreat. So Fedorov was in snake 2, but then tactically retreating back into the back center. And then now his spot's going to be taken over by Chad George. There's Fedorov on your screen. Chad George in the snake. The snake battle is developing here. And Chad George gets a shot on Keith Brown. Chad George.
What a snapshot.
Yeah, that was a spectacular snapshot. And it's now 2-on-1. And there goes Nick Laval. And he gets taken out.
Oh, no. And a penalty going to be thrown.
On impact.
And that means that Impact's going to have to start down 1 body. Man.
Oh, wait. No, hold on. I'm looking. The referee is pointing. He said he's pointing like a T, like a timeout with his hand, and then like a wiping penalty.
Well, he threw the yellow flag.
Okay. I just.
Maybe he was just saying he was hungry.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's been a long day. So 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Houston Heat. Wait, what is going on out here? Did they pull?
Because the penalty was thrown, there was no impact player to pull.
Okay, I just was waiting.
Point ends.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just didn't see the point up there. So now we have ourselves a game. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Chad George.
MV Whistle.
Potentially, we got to see how things shake out. But Chad George.
2 points. 2 points by Chad George, and the 2 points that Heat has scored because of, I'd say, Chad George. Not to take anything away from Fedorov at that point. Miraculously filled back from the snake 2 all the way to the back center. Smart move, but oh boy.
We're in the pits right now looking at a very crucial moment for Houston Heat. It's been a year since they've won a tournament, and Edmonton Impact's just been dominating the entire league, both leagues, here and in the States. So Heat wants to steal that crown back, and this is how it potentially could start. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go, only down by 1. Will Impact be starting down a body?
Let's go, Heat!
With the penalty on Nick Laval. Yes, no, maybe so.
I was listening in because Rainey, obviously the voice on that team, not happy with the call on him when he filled back, saying that no one was shooting at him. And I watched him fill back like, man, that's a great fill. Rainey's been the clutch at that, and didn't see anything hit him. And again, with Nick Laval, he made that move. When he got into that Dorito, I didn't see him engage in a gunfight. The ref was already running in, called him out, and going to throw the penalty. Nick Laval not playing this point. So I think that's one of the first times. That might be the first point Nick Laval sat all tournament.
Well, it's going to be Keith Brown, Rainey Stanzik, Dalton,
JC.
Justin Cornell. Who's the 5th body? So
they're only playing with 4.
That's what I'm saying. So they are starting down a body. This is Heat's chance. They're on a power play. There's only 3 minutes and 2 seconds left. Not a lot of time to work with here. So can Edmonton Impact get those 4 bodies out alive, or will Houston Heat shoot one and be on a huge power play?
We'll
see.
We've got, there's your lineup for Impact. On the flip side, Ryan Moorhead, Mishka, Fedorov, Sergey, and Chad George.
30 seconds.
So here we go. Point number 6 about to start. Well, 30 seconds. We got time to talk. What do you want to talk about?
Well, but
Carne asada burrito?
I don't think has Impact been had to start with 4 yet this tournament. I don't think they have.
They have not.
Penalties really weren't that big of an issue, if I remember correctly, through the prelims with Impact. I mean, they got a few.
They got a few here and there.
Yeah, a few here and there, but that wasn't the problem. But again, they really did turn it up. But Houston Heat answering the challenge so far, though they are still down a point on the Impact side right now. We'll see, can they stay alive? Looks like they're going to send Keith Brown off the break to the snake. The referee's going to get there and check him out.
1 player down.
He's clean.
Houston Heat doubling up the Dorito 2. They do lose Dalton on the break. JC gets shot, so if you're Impact, you might want to concede this point right now.
Well, they did shoot, looks like, Mishka. So 4 bodies alive for Heat versus 2, and that's going to do it. And not going to concede it because that's going to give them the tie there. They're going to concede it, so Houston Heat tying this game up.
Well, wow, I didn't know we had grandstands. As they
well, they're full.
Come to life, cheering for Houston Heat, so you can see how the crowd feels here about that one. So now the score will be 3-3. Impact, though, coming back out to full strength. Whew.
Yeah, this is a close one. This is what I was hoping for. To see a good game in the finals. It's always what you want to see. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Just like Nick said, Impact will be back at full strength.
That was about a 32-second point. There are the grandstands. You guys can hear me do the wave. Nobody? Someone wave? Put your right foot down and you stomp it all around, and my Hokey Pokey song is going to make you frown.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Houston Heat is able to win this game, I think we got it. Well, we'll see what happens in these last couple points, but Chad George making a strong statement for MVP if he can find a way to win.
Well,
1 minute.
I think, yeah, he's unconditional, in my opinion.
So we're looking in the pits right now with Houston Heat. There's Coach Ryan Smith talking to Ryan Moorhead.
That's Tarzan right there. DLX Tech always in the pits for Heat, helping them with their DLX Lux Ice. Speaking of markers, GI Sports bringing you this matchup with the GI Sports Stealth marker collaboration between GI Sports, Planet Eclipse, and Exalt Paintball. That gun comes with the double X barrel. So here's a replay. Keith Brown, the only one left alive. So at this point, he gets shot right here. Fedorov going to run down, give him a 1 or 2, and that's pretty much seals the end of that match, where Heat scores their 3rd point to tie this game. So same line.
Well,
coming back out here.
Dave Baines yelling a code blue, blue, blue. Not exactly sure what that means, but he said, yeah, Keith, and then yelled this code blue. Ryan Moorhead getting shot off the break, but they also, looks like Impact loses Dalton, so both teams with 4. Actually, 2 bodies as JC gets shot.
Out of the back center.
So doubling up that back center has not been the move all tournament long. But Houston Heat also with 2 bodies stuck in that back center.
Yeah, Houston Heat going to have to find a way to fill out. They have Sergei Shlishnikov and Fedorov back there. Mishka and Chad George have filled out.
Well, here goes Nick Laval up into that center 50 structure, and he's going to look towards the D side. But right as he made that move, Heat makes their move into D1, so that was a well-timed move to get into D1 with Mishka.
Yeah, and Mishka saw Laval do that, so the one thing that Nick has to look out for, and so does Impact, is a fill from the back center by either Sergey or Fedorov to come up there and take out Nick Laval. Although this game time now coming down to minute 30, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here when bodies start to drop and moves start to be made, as this could very well be the last point.
Yeah, we're coming down on 1:19, and with the bodies that are left alive, I do not like the fact that Houston Heat still has 2 bodies in the center. Fedorov gets out of there, and Fedorov is going to run up the center. He's going to execute Nick Laval. Nick Laval got to be careful not to get a penalty. Wow, so they're not going to give Nick a penalty on that one, as it looks like he might have spun on Fedorov. But after that, looks like Keith Brown gets shot out, and that forces...
He trades with Fedorov.
Yeah, so Yeah, but Keith Brown got shot at the same time.
Yep.
Houston Heat is going to go up a point against Edmonton Impact as they still had 3 bodies alive.
Told you Fedorov would run from the back center.
Well,
yeah, good
I'm
job
glad
by
he
Mishka.
did- I'm glad he did that because this is at that particular time with about a minute left. I was thinking, man, why are there still 2 bodies in the back center? But he made the perfect move. He came up. Nick Laval really careful not to get a penalty there. It looked like he did spin for a second, but maybe he didn't shoot his gun. That might have saved him from getting a penalty. I couldn't see from this angle. I mean, I could see him spin, but I couldn't see whether or not he shot a ball.
Well, he was shooting that way. He was playing towards the Dorito side. I'm going to say I'd put 5 on it that he probably pulled the trigger at least once to maybe try and put a ball on Fedorov, but smartly so, not shooting anymore. And the result of that, as Fedorov lived, trades out with Keith Brown, but Houston Heat then would have had a 3-on-1, and Impact immediately concedes a point to give Houston Heat the lead.
Well, it is do or die time, and we are in the pits with Edmonton Impact. There's Big Dave Baines, the coach, trying to lead his team to yet another victory. There is only a minute and 25 seconds left in this match, and Dave giving a couple last-minute instructions here to his boys heading out to play this point. It's probably going to be the guys that we've been seeing: Nick Laval, Keith Brown, Justin Cornell, Rainey Stanzik, and it looks like Dalton Vanderbilt for sure. So that is the 5 players on the field for Edmonton Impact to see if they can try to score a quick point here and tie this thing up and take it to overtime against Houston Heat.
125 is a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. You can get a legit point in a minute and 25
Yeah,
seconds.
and with the way these teams play, with how fast they react to things, I don't think we're going to see the most hyper-aggressive breakout from Impact on this one. We might see a snake on the break, or at least Dalton making a Dorito 2 run, or up into that mini wall on that side, although Heat not going to have to go anywhere. Now, this is the question that we've talked about. Does Heat play a counterpunch game, or do they play a defensive game?
Well, let's look at this break here, because, yes, we've been talking about that all weekend long. The defensive play has not really worked that well for most teams. It's going to come down to the break. If Houston Heat can shoot some bodies from Edmonton Impact to start out this point, then they very well could seal up this victory and win this tournament. And it looks like they are going to be able to shoot Dalton, who tries to get out wide on the D side of the field. Still 4 bodies alive for Impact, and they are pushing forward. Keith Brown makes a move into the snake. Chad George gets shot out, and here comes Konstantin Fedorov. He's going to streak out wide and is able to get into the back corner bunker. We are under a minute to go.
JC gets shot. So now it is a 4-on-3. Fedorov going to get a minor penalty, going to pull 2 bodies.
Unbelievable. That is not at all what Konstantin Fedorov needed to happen right here.
Oh, Keith Brown gets shot.
Well, they still got a chance. It looks like it's 2 on 2 right now with time ticking off. 37 seconds left. Rainey comes into the snake, and we'll see how they reposition here. Rainey knows he needs one. Houston Heat just trying to suck the time off the clock. Sergey's still alive. Ryan Moorhead makes it into the 50 brick. That might be the move that seals it up. And here comes Sergey trying to spread the field out and slow down the attack. Rainey repositioned into the center. Rainey wrapping around trying to find the bodies. He has to go. 17 seconds. Rainey fully commits. And look at this. Rainey's going to come around and hit that buzzer as Edmonton Impact explodes in their pits. And what an amazing move by Rainey Stanzik. I can't believe Sergey just focusing his gun towards that D side of the field. You should have you got to keep your head on a swivel when you are under 15 seconds. You know the attack's going to come.
Well, Rainey Stanzik was shooting a gun at Moorhead the entire time. He hits the buzzer, but the ref from the Dorito side runs over and signals him out. So I have no idea what the call's going to be here. Rainey not shaking his head, not pumping his hand.
Not arguing.
Not arguing.
That's the key.
That might be a replay review by Jason. Jason Trozen, the commissioner, going to talk with the head ref. Rainey running off. Rainey pleading that he shot Moorhead. Moorhead's coming off right now. I don't see any hits on him. Him and Sergey were alive.
Well, that's the thing. We keep talking about why is Impact the best team in the world? Because of things like that. Houston Heat, when you know the time is ticking off like that, how Sergey didn't have his head on a swivel. I understand.
He did. But Rainey ran the perfect route.
I understand. But I understand that Ryan Moorhead is up at that 50 brick and he's trying to watch over him. But you know that there's still a body left alive on this snake side of the field. You know that he only can push forward on that side of the field.
Right.
So shoot over the head and just keep your head looking towards the snake side.
He did. I
don't know, man. Let's watch the replay.
All right, so watch this move and watch the route that Rainey runs.
Yeah, he runs.
Cuts in, he runs, and you see Sergey's looking. He's shooting at the snake side, but Rainey runs the perfect route.
You're right.
He cuts in
I
and
take
uses,
it back.
Yeah, no,
I take it back.
I hear you.
He did run the perfect route. He couldn't have ran a better route than that. I thought Sergey was just focused that way, but What an amazing job by Rainey Stanzik. I take back what I said about Sergey. He did do the head check. He did do what you're technically supposed to do in that situation.
He shot towards the snake side. Didn't see Rainey. Last he saw, Rainey was in the snake corner.
That's true. Well, Rainey Stanzik just putting the team on his back there on that point, and miraculously able to hit that last second buzzer hit. So we got 12 seconds to go here before. Well, wait, I don't see a point on the board.
Well,
right
we
now.
don't see a point on our scoreboard. We haven't heard any.
Well, the referees are having a convention out on the field.
So Jason Trozen, the commissioner, is in our booth doing a replay review. And we don't know what information the refs, what they saw. Did see a ref come in from the Doritos side and call Rainey out. Didn't see Ryan Moorhead get called out. So we'll see. Nick Laval was still alive, and Sergey and Ryan Moorhead would technically still be alive for each team. But you can see 4 players on the field right now for Impact.
Well, the heartbreaker in that last one was the penalty on Fedorov. If Fedorov doesn't get a penalty, we're singing a different tune right now.
Yeah, and Dave Baines and Impact were freaking out, saying, why isn't that a major if it's an obvious hit? But no idea what's going on. Zach Yakimak, Zane, geez, losing it here, is on the field running out there. So there will be 5 for Impact. Houston Heat don't know what's going on as they are.
Well, I see 5 bodies.
From the way things are looking here, with the bodies that are on the field, I'm going to say Impact got the point, and they're just going to play out the 12 seconds, and we might be going into overtime. I don't know. Goldman doesn't know. Dave Baines, he don't know.
So we're still.
No one knows what's going on.
Everyone is waiting to try to figure out what this call is.
If you guys
be.
know,
the replay.
MB knows.
Right now, the commissioner Jason Trozen
and of
is
course,
given the replay, or looking at the replay currently here in the booth to figure out what the call is, and everyone is awaiting his decision.
Yeah, MB, part of GI Sports, and that is who is bringing this match to you. So you know what? It's probably a good idea if all you guys in the VIP in the stands just go over to GI Sports, check out the GI Sports stealth marker, because I mean this match is like done, right? Everything's over. You guys, I'll take a break.
Yeah,
go home.
totally. Yes, now's the perfect time to go get
Don't
a drink.
leave.
Just kidding. Definitely stick around here as we try to figure out what went down in that last point. Everyone just pins and needles here.
Hey, Maddie, I give you permission to leave and go find out what the hell's going on down below, because you know you want to.
Oh, man, that's why I got headphones on.
The door's opening. Oh, what's going on? Jason Trozen emerges. I feel a ruling coming.
Well, the commissioner, it looks like the thumbs up, so that means the point is going to be good. So we are going to start. So we see the point finally goes on the board, and some Impact fans cheering. And
some people booing.
And some boos for the Heat fans. So some Impact fans out there and some Heat fans.
30 seconds.
Wow. Man, I think Rainey Stanzik just earned back that MVP. Man,
Yes, he did.
Sorry, Chad George.
We still have one more point to go.
Well, 1.5. 9 seconds on the clock. So as long as there's no major penalty.
Watch there be a major, and that's how it ends with 9 seconds.
Matty Marshall, ladies and
happened.
gentlemen. Matty Marshall calling it out. Commentator curse. I'm looking away. No, I'm not. I'm coming back.
So here we go. Houston Heat and Edmonton Impact with 9 seconds, but most likely they're just going to run to their bunkers, hide, shoot their guns, and wait for these seconds to tick off. The referee is checking out one of the players for Impact. It looks like he's clean.
Well, I've never not seen a referee run and check somebody out on the break.
Game time finished.
So that's going to do it. Oh, my gosh. We are going to go to overtime.
Overtime.
Man.
What a great
Just, you know what? We've done this for a while together.
A little
and
bit.
We've been in a few situations where, like, can these final games get any crazier? Will we ever see anything more ridiculous?
We've definitely had the pleasure of watching some great paintball together, and there's been some really, really close ones.
Yeah.
So, again, this game brought to you by GI Sports as we take a 2-minute break before we head into this overtime match. The combined performance there at a collab with Exalt and Planet Eclipse. I think this is the second time that those companies have combined here, creating this stealth marker. And so with Nick, I don't know, man. If I'm looking at this last overtime point, and we've been talking about as far as game plans are concerned, what do you think Houston Heat's going to do here? What coach call here from Ryan Smith? I mean, since you called that other one so beautifully, why don't you break it down again for me?
Man, you know, I don't know how Ryan's feeling, but if I was him, I'd say, F it, let's go do this. I would send
delay Fedorov to the 50 break.
I would delay Chad George. I'd have him shoot, have him come up underneath into the snake insert. I would send who's out there. Well, see, that's the thing. Looking at the lineup right now is they don't really have – it's just Chad George on the snake side. Everyone else he has on that line right there is a snake side player. Fedorov's going to be the only one playing, I think, the snake side off the break. We have had Moorhead out there consistently going far on the Doritos. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I know what I would want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm sitting up here and
I
I'm
want
thinking,
Chad George shooting off the break, laying to the snake insert. I want Fedorov going out to the snake hand, shooting heads up. Sergey's going to shoot snake side off the break with Chad George over his head, shooting up the middle.
Yes.
For Nick Laval to come up.
Yes.
That's what I want Sergey to do.
That's a good chance that you were going to see Laval
I
at the
want
center.
Moorhead to go out to the snake Aztec. I want Mishka to shoot right and then fill out behind Moorhead. I don't think we're going to get what I wanted, but here we go. Chad George digs out to the corner.
Chad George going out wide. Lots of guns on him as he makes it out there, but it looks like a clean break for Heat and also a clean break for Impact, but a better break for Houston Heat as they get Sergey Sonaiskov up into that center to try to stop Keith Brown from moving up on the snake side of the field.
Yeah, way better break, except for right now where Fedorov catches one off the bounce in the loader. Ooh, Nick Laval might have just taken one. He's getting checked out. I think Sergey got him, and he does, so bodies are even right now.
Yeah.
But again, way better field position for Heat as they secondary into the Dorito 3.
And Houston Heat is going to launch Ryan Moorhead up and gets into the 50, but they lose Mishka behind him, so better field position with the center 50 and at the brick as well. But here comes bodies dropping off for Impact, so it's been a seesaw battle here in overtime thus far. Looks like Dalton is going to try to get out to the back corner bunker to try to slow down the attack coming from that brick.
Yeah, and Chad George needs to talk to Sergey right now because Sergey is playing like there is someone in the snake. He has no idea that this whole snake side's blown open. Yeah, and what they need to do is stop Rainey and not allow him to fill out from that snake side to the back,
Rainey's been the magic man right here for Edmonton Impact, and Sergey is absolutely playing like that snake is hot. That lets Justin Cornell get into D3. Chad George is not talking it up to Sergey right now. He's just shooting down the line, and here comes a move from Justin Cornell. Sergey's going to blast him. And so Sergey's still alive. Nice move by Justin Cornell to come and take out the thorn in their side. Ryan Moorhead now just 2 players alive for Heat and 2 players for Edmonton Impact.
Yeah. Chad George needs to talk to Sergey and tell him that there's no one over here.
Yeah, because Keith's been dead now for a good minute.
Yeah, and I don't. Maybe Chad George doesn't know. I'm not sure. Here comes Rainey Stanzak to the center tower. Ooh, here we go. This could be sneaky right here. Ooh, wow, and Rainey trades out one-on-one.
Comes down to a one-on-one. So Chad George won the one-on-one to keep Houston Heat in this match earlier on, and now he's going to have to go to the well again. And Dalton, who's also had a stellar game for his team, Edmonton Impact, he's at the 50 brick on the D side, but I'm wondering if Chad knows the count.
Yeah, I think he does now, especially by the way he's playing around that can. Dalton has made his way into his Dorito 3. Chad George going to have to be careful because of the blind shots into him. So Chad George, very smart player.
Well, Chad George also doesn't have many bunkers to go right to, as Dalton has a lot to work with over there in the D side. Also, Dalton is on to Chad George's side of the field, so Chad George cannot just recklessly launch forward. Well, not recklessly, but he still has to watch over that buzzer.
Right. Well, this is a very I can't say the word.
A reactive moment?
Yeah, reactive moment, and there you go. That's what Chad George does. Oh, man, my stomach is in a knot right now.
Wow, so Chad George gets out of that spot, goes to the Aztec, try to close the gap a little bit. Dalton, little tactical retreat, has back from D2 into D3 here on Heat side of the field. And it looks like Chad has a pod on his back. Not exactly sure how much paint that Dalton has.
Well, they can pick it up off the ground now. But one thing, too, I think they each have enough paint. 2 minutes to go here in this overtime. And maybe we'll let this stalemate and we can go to one-on-ones.
One-on-ones, that would be pretty awesome. We haven't seen one-on-ones in a while. Oh, and Chad George winning 2 one-on-ones to get the victory for Houston Heat, finally taking down Edmonton Impact. The curse is broken. It's been a whole year since Houston Heat has a victory in a major tournament, and they are triumphant here as long as Chad George is clean when he hits that buzzer. But I think it is it's unarguable who the MVP of this event is with 2 one-on-one victories. It doesn't get any better than that.
Chad Boucher. I mean, Chad George. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That man right there on your screen.
Hugs all the way around in the pits as Houston Heat is going crazy right now. And I got to give a big round of applause to Chad George, making a huge statement out here. What a phenomenal performance from Chad George, undaunted.
I've seen this before. Oh my goodness gracious. Chad George twice now.
Hoist them up. Hoist the hero up.
Has anyone, I don't know, in the history has anyone ever won events and back-to-back one-on-ones for a team?
I can't remember. I would have to do some
Overtime
time
for one.
thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any more dramatic than that. Oh, yeah. Hey, boys, we already got it. Don't even worry about it. He's the MVP.
Way ahead of you.
Unbelievable.
So, I mean,
just
hey.
superstar performance from Chad George.
And a runner-up, Rainey Stanczak.
Oh, yeah. Rainey.
I have
again,
not seen him play at that level.
Well, Rainey, we know what Rainey can do. He's the utility man, right, for Edmonton Impact. He can play any spot, but the emotional leadership for Rainey Stanczak to really hype his guys up and make them understand that, hey, we're better than this. And I felt that was a really key thing to be said at the right moment. I'm sure a lot of other guys said, I just happened to see Rainey kept saying it in the right moment. So, yes, definitely.
Every moment.
Yeah, Rainey Stanczak, he was outstanding for Edmonton Impact this weekend, and a heartbreaking loss for them going all the way down to a one-on-one, but just Chad George, you know, he's been around for so long, such a veteran performer, consistently always playing that one. You know, it's hard to be the one for as long as he's been doing it.
Look at this replay.
Yeah,
right
look
here.
at this replay as Chad George, Randy Smith is pumped up, and as well he should be as they take the victory. And look at Chad George here. Well, we can run through this replay, and there is the shot on the hand of Dalton Vanderbilt, and you can see Dalton's going to be frustrated there.
Yeah, Chad George knows it right away.
Yeah, he saw it all the way.
So, 2018 NXL inaugural event here in Chartres, France, and Houston Heat are going to be your victors against Edmonton Impact. Nice to see all the fans there on the sidelines applauding both teams. As no matter what, as much as you might want to see Impact lose, man, those guys can play some damn good paintball.
Wow.
Love it.
The whole event was great, man. We had so many great stories out here. I'm so glad that we're over here in Europe. And, you know, the first event for the NXL, and we couldn't have had some of these games. I mean, if you're going through this, like Expendables had a pretty amazing story. We had some upsets. Camp Carnage took out Breakout Spa. Breakout Spa, they had a terrible weekend. Russian Legion, they're rebuilt, and they got pretty deep into the tournament until they got taken out by the Expendables. But Houston Heat, man, it just... you know, coming into this event, when people were asking me who I felt was ready to win, I really felt Houston Heat. Just because talking to those guys and seeing how they played at the last event, I know they met X Factor in the quarters, and that was really frustrating. But the fact that they got knocked out by you guys early on Sunday, I really felt just lit a fire underneath them. And so, yeah, it's just I had a good feeling about Houston Heat heading into this one, and they proved it. They really did. And that was kind of the big question with all of pro paintball was who is going to take down Edmonton Impact? Who is going to do the work on the field and off the field to step up to take down this legendary squad? And Houston Heat, I mean, there's no way they could be happier with themselves right now, because now the gauntlet has been thrown down. Who's going to be the best team heading forward in 2018 here in Europe and in the States? And right now, Houston Heat, you can see tears in their eyes as they finally get another win under their belt.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing I think, and I'm just going to say it because it's on my mind, that people will say is that Edmonton Impact made it to the finals but still missing some of their key guys.
Yeah,
so that's going to put that asterisk out there. It's not to take anything away from those guys or Heat, but still missing Justin Rabikoff.
Well, that's the big story in Dallas, which we're going to be talking about. So watch for the first looks. We're going to be telling you guys all these stories leading in to not only the next event in Dallas, but the events all year long. Thank you guys so much for joining us here.
We're not done yet.
GoSports.com. We will still have to do the draw for the next event. But a huge congratulations to Houston and Heat as they stepped up to take the victory away from Edmonton Impact. We'll be right back with the draw. Stick with us here, GoSports.com.